Hey, this is Movie Edge, and this is a collection video for my, if you haven't seen the title card yet, for my Three Stooges movie collection. It's not the entire Three Stooges collection that I have, it's just the movies that they starred in or co-starred in. And if you like anything you've seen in this video, please like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Questions are welcome. And you can get a hold of me on Instagram at movieedge1, or check out my non-media page at movieedgenonmedia. I'm going to get started. I can't really put these in theatrical order. I wish I could, but some of these have more than one movie on it, so it's kind of hard to do. So I'm going to start out with the Blu-rays from Mill Creek and Columbia Pictures. They put these out, and this one is a triple feature. It's got two with Curly and then one with Curly Joe. Time Out for Rhythm. Time Out for Rhythm was from 1941, 75 minutes. That is the Stooges at the top of their game in that movie. Really good. A lot of stuff they never did before in shorts was in that. Rockin' in the Rockies was from 1945, 68 minutes. Technically their first starring movie for the Three Stooges. Even though they were in other movies, this one top bills them. And then in 1959, the very first movie they made with Curly Joe Dorita, 77 minutes. Unfortunately, all the movies are on one disc. But there's no, I mean, the quality is fine. Because they're short films to begin with, so you could get all that and it looks great. There's the back right there, pictures. And if you haven't seen any of these movies, highly recommend to pick up this set. It's fantastic, and before it goes out of print, just try to pick it up. And that's about it. There's no special features, nothing on it. It is Mill Creek, so it says Region A locked on it, but it usually works in all region. Next, the second volume of the Three Stooges triple features, and this is from Mill Creek and Columbia as well. Check it out. Read it off to you. First movie, Three Stooges Meet Hercules from 1961. It's a sci-fi time travel movie. It's pretty good. Three Stooges go around the world in days, from the old Jules Verne story where they go around the world in 80 days. Same thing. From 1963, it's 94 minutes. Three Stooges Meet Hercules, in case I didn't say it, is 89 minutes. The Outlaws is coming. Their very last film for Columbia was 89 minutes, and it's from 1964. It also co-stars Adam West before he became Batman. And it's really cool to see him with the Stooges. And he used to do conventions and do autographs and stuff when the Three Stooges had conventions. Really nice of them. Rest in peace, Adam West. So I highly recommend this set if you're a Three Stooges fan. I know a lot of people out there don't like Curly Joe, but if it wasn't for Curly Joe, there would be 11 years without the Stooges. So yeah. The bad thing about these two releases, they're missing one. They made 5 releases for Columbia, and the 5th one they didn't even put on, and this was like, I think their second movie. Yeah, this was like their second movie for Columbia. It's Three Stooges in Orbit. Now this is funny. This is a funny movie, and it's from 1962. Yeah, 1962, 88 minutes long. This one is kind of hard to find now, and when you do find it, kind of high in price. So if you find it cheap, highly recommend it. I wish this was on Blu-ray. Well, what are you going to do? At least I got it. And the story about this movie was right after Have Rocket Will Travel, Three Stooges asked for a raise and everything. And they're like, no, we're not going to give you a raise and stuff like that. So the Stooges said, we're out of here. and they went to go film. Snow White and the Three Stooges in 1961. This was the highest production movie they did in their career, in my opinion. Technicolor, widescreen, CinemaScope, and it was great. 20th Century Fox rated it PG. Why? I don't know. 1961, there was no ratings, and this is not a PG picture. Sadly, it's a flipper disc. But what are you going to do? I mean, hopefully, somewhere down the line, this gets a Blu-ray release somewhere in the world. But seeing that it's owned by Disney now, 20th Century Fox, they could care less about movies, more about their woke agenda. That's about it. So, it stars Carol Hess as Snow White, which Carol Hess was the the Olympics ice skater champion. So, yeah, they put her in a movie. Boom. She was really good as Snow White. And there's a widescreen, full screen version on both on this movie. Well, Columbia seen how well this movie did at 20th Century Fox. Then they asked them to come back and they filmed this. But the thing of it was, they made a pilot for our cartoon series that later they changed the style of it. But the pilot had a live action 13-minute part or 14-minute part, and that is the beginning of this movie, pretty much. It was filmed in color, and almost the whole thing was used for the beginning of this movie, except for one part with an actress that they cut out for some reason because maybe they didn't want to pay her or something. But yeah, that whole short that they cut into two. There was a live action part and then there was an animated part. The live action part, you can actually see on YouTube here and there because people post it. And I really wish that would have ended up on Stooge Mania, the new Blu-ray release that came out in July, but it didn't. So it's kind of sad, but yeah, you can see it on YouTube. All right, so Three Stooges in orbit. They got back to Columbia and made more movies. This was if I didn't mention it, 88 minutes. There you go. Next, this was Curly, and I mean, Rockin' Through the Rockies, you could see he had a stroke, and that was just, you know, really slowed down. But in this movie, you could see it even more. I mean, he's still funny in it, but I mean, his health was depleting. And this was from Molly Graham Pictures, which is a Poverty Row movie company. It was like, it's, you know, cheaply made films, but they had some big name stars coming through there. And Three Stooges got offered a deal to make a movie. I guess Columbia was like, they're not a threat. Don't worry about it. Just go and make it. And I guess this was their off time when they weren't making shorts. So, yeah. The only famous people that I know in this movie is Gail Storm and Phil Regan. The rest, there's also another actor, which his name is not on the back here, and I don't know it offhand, but he worked with the Stooges in the short Beer and Pretzels at MGM, so it's kind of like a reuniting thing with them. So if you haven't seen this movie, it's kind of a rehash, in my opinion, of Time Out for Rhythm. So Time Out for Rhythm is probably a better version than this, but they do a lot of good gags and stuff that they didn't on the shorts. This is a DVD-R, which I can't stand DVDRs or PDRs, but I have this. I also have this on the Legend Films release, but they colorized the colorized the movie, and it's color in black and white, but I was like, it didn't look as good as this one. Also, they had, the reason why I kept that one is because they have a Columbia short on there that they put as a bonus feature. but it's not the greatest quality in the world. There's a bunch of pops and hisses and scratches throughout the film because it was made for a 16mm home release, and they put it on there. But it was great to see because I'd never seen it before. But that's the Legend of Films one, and you could probably find that one as well. Next, this was made, this is the very first movie that Three Stooges made, and it was made for William Fox, okay? William Fox eventually goes to 20th Century Fox, moved to 20th Century Fox, which 20th Century Fox does own this. It is soup to nuts. And yes, that is Shemp Howard, because Shemp Howard was the very first third Stooge, not Curly. So, and Shemp, after this movie, they did other live stuff, but he got offered a role in a Vitaphone short series from Warner Brothers called Palooka, the Palooka Joe series. And he lasted for a little bit on there. Then he totally went on his own at Vitaphone and made more shorts under his name and co-starring with others. And then he was showed, and then he went to movies galore for Universal, Columbia, MGM. He was in MGM stuff, and he's just fantastic. Shemp is brilliant. But this movie came out in 1930, and so it's one of those early talkies, and pre-code as well. It's good. And it had Ted Healy and the Stooges, and there's another Stooge in here, which I forgot his name, Frankie something. I really forgot his name, but he's right there. He went on his own to do other things as well. It was original screenplay and dialogue by Rube Goldberg. It's the person that made he made Crazy Inventions. He was a cartoonist as well. And his crazy inventions are in this movie as well, depicted and stuff like that. It's a good movie. The Three Stooges are at the beginning of it. Then they disappear for a while. Then they're in the middle. Then they disappear for a while. Then they're at the whole ending of the movie, which is great. It's fantastic. Very funny stuff with Ted Healy and the Three Stooges. 71 minutes, 1930, if I haven't mentioned it. And it is full screen. The inside of the disc, pretty cool. Next. Next. Two movies that Warner Brothers owns. Warner Brothers owns all of their MGM pictures and shorts and stuff that they were in. This one, Meet the Baron, very good. They're throughout the movie. So I technically count this as a Three Stooges movie as well. It has Jack Pearl in it, Jimmy Durante, Zazu Pitts, Ted Healy and the Stooges, Edna Mae Oliver, all famous comedians back then. And it is well worth seeing if you haven't seen it before. The other movie is George O'Brien's last movie with the Three Stooges. They didn't get top billing, I mean. So, you know, they top billed this guy. But I think they're probably in more of it than he is. And it's well worth seeing. It's a good feature. I mean, Soup to Nuts and Go Raiders were the only two movies that they made with Shemp. They made a lot of television appearances with Shemp, but not movies. Fuzzy Knight's in here, another little comedian from back in the day. Monty Blue, Clem Bevins, and the other two people I do not know. But let's see how old this is. Gold Raiders is 56 minutes. I would consider it a streamline film, but I think Hal Roach had the copyright for that term. And Meet the Baron was 66 minutes. And yeah, Meet the Baron was from what year? Meet the Baron was from 33, pre-code movie, and Gold Raiders from 1951. Gold Raiders was released through a independent company and released through United Artists, put it out. I highly recommend picking the set up if you find it at the store. There's a box set that this came in with 2 Abbott and Costello movies, 2 Laurel and Hardy movies, and then the two Three Stooges movies. So I highly recommend this one. Very good. Next, I threw in these 2 just for the hell of it. And the first one is a movie that they made in, say, 1960. 1960. This is right after Have Rocket Will Travel. Yeah, this is right after Have Rocket Will Travel. And I guess they wanted to make more money off the Three Stooges. And I think they were filming Snow White and the Three Stooges at the time. So they decided to make Stop, Look, Laugh, hosted by Paul Winchell. He was a comedian. He was a ventriloquist. He did voices for Hanna-Barbera. He did character acting in TV shows and movies. He was actually a pretty good guy. And this one, they took Mo, Larry, and Curly's shorts from A Plumbing We Will Go, Microphonies, How High Is Up. There's another one in there I can't find. But they took those shorts, they pretty much enhanced them for widescreen, like we do today for TV shows. Enhanced for widescreen. The Paul Winchell part was actually filmed in widescreen. And at the time, like 2 days, this movie took to film with Paul Winchell because they were going to go on strike. There's going to be a writer's strike that year. And, you know, I think it was Jules White. He's like, can you finish this movie? He's like, 2 days to finish a movie? But it was only like little segments with him. But they did it. They finished it. Took 2 days to do. And then it was out. So, yeah. It is, I'm trying to look for the time, 95 minutes. A lot of people don't like this movie. I could see why. But just to have Curly shorts in widescreen, that's the only reason why I have it. I had this before. I sold it. And I got it back because I'm like, why isn't this in my collection? So I kind of rebought it. The special features, there isn't any. It's just full in widescreen, subtitles, and that's about it. The inside, you have track listings. And there's also a bonus short, A Bird in the Head. It's one of Curly's last kind of shorts with the Stooges. And it wasn't that good as a short, not one of my favorites. You could tell he's really slow on that. And his lines, he had to do bit by bit and stuff like that. So it's really not that great of a short. But they stuck it on here anyway. It's from 1946. So if you're looking for it, this is on Amazon and eBay for cheap. I don't recommend it, but you know, you can get it. The last one is a documentary film that Leonard Maltin wrote and narrated. And it is all about the Three Stooges at MGM Studios. And it is The Lost Stooges. And this one's with Ted Healy. And this is like a year that they worked with MGM. And it talks about the movies that they were in, like Meet the Baron, which I talked about. Fugitive Lovers, which they only have one little segment in, but it's a really good one. And Ted Healy's in that movie as well. Dancing Lady with Clark Gable and Joan Crawford, which is a good movie as well. I should have that in my collection, but I don't. Because the Stooges are only in like really one segment of that movie. Hollywood Party, it's another fun movie. They're only in one segment of that movie with Ted Healy. And they talk about their first appearance in the Technicolor short nursery rhymes, which I don't really care for. I mean, yeah, it's fun to see them in Technicolor, but eh. And then they talk about Plain Nuts, which is a stage appearance from their vaudeville act, and they just filmed it. And in between, they had these deleted scenes that they had from big budgets, musicals that they deleted, and they're like, what are we going to do with this footage? We have to use it. So they put them in the shorts, and they made shorts like that. And this documentary came out in 1990, and they talk about Hello Pop in this. Hello Pop is available now because it was found 5-6 years ago, maybe more, maybe a little bit longer than that, but it was found. But they talk about it in this thing saying it's gone, it doesn't exist. It did get found, so it's out of date. It's an out of date documentary, but it's still worth getting to learn about the history at MGM. And if you just want the clips and you don't want to buy all the movies, it's worth getting. Also, it's 68 minutes, so it's not that long of a movie, of a documentary movie, not at all. And who knows, if you're a Stooge fan and you didn't know about this part of their career, yeah. Now there's a disc out there. There's a shorts disc out there that they put. I forgot the name of it, but if you look it up, Three Stooges shorts, it'll usually pop up, and it's from Warner Brothers and has all their MGM shorts on it. You could get that. I think it's all region because it's from Warner Brothers Archives too. So yeah, I don't really like the fact that these are DVDRs, but whatever. I still have my VHS copy of this as well. So that's it. That is all my Three Stooges movies. The only other movie I want to get, which they're only in 2 segments of, they were supposed to be in 3, was a movie called Start Cheering. The second segment of the movie had them in a fire department. They were firemen, and it had them in this really funny scene. Supposedly, they were playing with, musical bells. And the head of Columbia, Harry Cohn, said it was too funny, and he didn't want to lose the Stooges to some other company because they were too funny. Guy had a really big fucking ego. But, if that footage survived, we would have seen it by now. But it was deleted, probably cut. Someone swept it up, threw it away, which is a shame. But that's all this video. If you have any comments, questions, give me a like, comment, subscribe. Hit the notification bell, all that same shit. You can. Or hit me up on Instagram at movieedge1. Check out my non-Instagram page at movieedgenonmedia. Or you can check out my collection on, I'm drawing a blank, my Movie Pro app, Movie Edge, all lowercase. All right? So, that's it for now. Remember, movies are your best entertainment, especially from the Three Stooges. Yeah.